Hey YouTube, and welcome to the third episode of Kent Walks. This episode we visit the small village of Frittenden and head across fields to the popular Sissinghurst Castle and its gardens. The walk starts at the Church of St Mary, grid reference TQ 813408, with on-street parking as close as you can get. From the church we'll be following footpaths across several fields and over a stream by way of a plank bridge to Beale Farm, turning right along the road to very shortly leave it again in favour of more field paths and over another stream. We'll then plod 600 metres of tarmac past Bettenham Manor before heading southwest towards Sissinghurst Castle and Gardens. Through the car park here to find a sweeping bridleway bypassing Saw Lodge Wood to emerge at Dig Dog Lane. A small road section later and we're across fields toward Whitsunday to shortly pick up the outbound route where we retrace our steps back to the church. The origins of Frittenden are unclear, but with the discovery of two Romano-British urns found in Leggs Wood in 1857, there certainly seems to have been some activity from the Roman era. Documentary evidence suggests that signs of any sort of settlement that existed were on the ridge above the floodplain. The White Book of St Augustine's, circa 1200, notes the existence of the church. In the early days, Frittenden, with its very wet and heavy clay, wasn't known to be a high-yield farming community, and crops were certainly not plentiful. This meant the people of Frittenden struggled with significant poverty, and during the Peasants' Revolt of 1381, John Att Birch Jr. was recorded in a parliamentary roll as being one of the prominent leaders. Amusingly, in the 1930s, locals started rumours of a treacle mine which lured susceptible Londoners to the parish in order to visit the source of the world's uncrystallised syrup. So we're now approaching the wonderful Sissinghurst Castle and Gardens, once derelict and brought back to stunning existence by poet and gardening writer Vita Sackville-West and her husband Harold Nicholson. Vita, christened Victoria Mary, had a sad and secluded aristocratic upbringing, with her parents separating very early on. Vita was raised at Knowle House in Sevenoaks, which was given to the Sackville family by Elizabeth I. She was homeschooled, and her childhood was seemingly a very lonely and isolated one. Knowle became an important part of her life, and she penned no less than 8 full-length novels between 1906 and 1910, ballads and many plays. But when her father passed away, even though Vita was in line to inherit the country home, she was prohibited from doing so because of customs adopted by the Sackville West family. Vita, in 1913, married author and diplomat Harold Nicholson, and in 1930, although Sissinghurst was neglected and run down, bought the ruins and started creating the garden we know today. The garden itself is composed of a series of rooms, all with a unique charm of colour and theme. So when we imagine what a castle looks like, we can be forgiven for not thinking of Sissinghurst, and it was never built as a castle, so how did it come to be known as such? Well, it's more of an adopted title. During the 7 Years' War between 1756 and 1763, 3,000 French sailors, captured by the British, were imprisoned here. Not all at the same time, I hasten to add. Held for several months in disgusting putrid conditions, the prisoners were kept in cells with very little fresh air, food or clean water. The captured seamen referred to Sissinghurst as Le Chateau, and the name stuck. Sissinghurst Castle and Gardens are now cared for by the National Trust, so for more information feel free to visit their website. So, we're now back at the church, and next week we'll be heading for a little known historic site near Maidstone. Thanks for watching.